Hotel staff of Reddit, have you ever had sex with a client? How did it end up happening?
Like and subscribe, or else these'll be in your bed tonight.
Yes, I used to work night audit, 11p7a. About 2 AM, this sporty blonde walks in. She's about 10 years older than me, so I try to lay down some marksy. Her response is cordial, but dismissive like backquote or, that's cute, that nice young man tried. 15 minutes later, a cute redhead walks in. I failed with a blonde, shoot for the redhead. She's much more responsive. Turns out, they work together. 3 kids later, our 20th anniversary is next month and the blonde is still a very close friend. Oh. Was not expecting that. Had us in the first half. Not gonna lie. Yes, I did. It started a year-long relationship. I worked the front desk of a not-so-classy hotel 3 to 11 p.m. A lot of guests at the hotel live there, and we were generally not busy aside from those living there. So working the evening shift, after 5 p.m. I was the only person on staff. Guys would come by the front desk to talk and flirt. The guys that lived there were generally very kind, and would bring me dinner, and keep me company without anything more. I'd hang out in the lobby with them, while they played cards and bullshit with them. One of the guys started spending more, and more time at the desk with me. We hooked up one night and you can guess the rest. 1 year into seeing each other, I found out he had an entire secret family, but that's another story. Not my proudest moment, but once went out with a guest, and after a night out we were both wasted, and she dragged me inside the hotel instead of going to my place. I was wasted, and we ended up inside the toilet and the night shift had to kick us out. Have no idea how I kept the job. Didn't make a scene or disturb other guests. Got stellar reviews from one guest in particular. Plenty of wasted women have drunk flirted with me, but the only time I was actually propositioned was around 5 AM during a weekend night shift. This blonde girl who looked kind of like Elisha Cuthbert walked right up to the desk with a big smile on her face and asked me to come upstairs and double team her with her boyfriend. She was out of my league and then some, which made me suspicious, but I'm sure as shit not gonna get myself fired for a MMF 3-way. Edit, MFM, whatever. Sorry for not getting my Craigslist lingo right. Are you willing to get fired for an MFF 3-way? Absolutely. r/not Updoot talk. Yes I did, 3 times in 6 years. I would work 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. for a few years. That's the shift to have, if you're going to want for encounters. The first time, there were 2 women in their late 20s or early 30s who were traveling with a group in the Department of Defense. They were my smoke break buddies. I don't smoke, but they offered, and they were pretty, so that night I smoked. We chit-chatted, and casually flirted throughout the night and they invited me back to their room, since they were gonna pop open a bottle of wine. The flirting got much more intense. One night there were 3 college-aged girls who were coming to town for a funeral for a friend who was pushed in front of a train. It was a local tragedy that made some national press. Turns out, I was friends with the victim's cousin, so the 3 of them invited me to have a few beers in her memory. The one girl and I were vibing really well, and her 2 friends noticed and gave us some space. One went for a walk and the other decided to take a long shower with her Bluetooth speaker playing loud enough to cover up outside noise. There was a wedding after party. The bridegroom and their friends were cool, but I remember both of their families were kinda trashy, but in a fun way. Like mother of the bride doing the longest keg stand of my life in the lobby with Natty Light or something kinda trashy. But like I said, the couple and their friends were cool. The bride wasn't drinking, she was pregnant, and didn't want baby Jameson, or some name BTW, to have any namesake. The entire after party there are some people trying to give me drinks, in particular were 2 bridesmaids. The one, Heather, was especially flirty, and when I clocked out she invited me to join them going to the bar across the parking lot. I get there, do a few shots to catch up, and in an hour or so we head back to Heather's room, going in the side door, so my coworkers don't see. Edit, I'm going to add details. Just wanted to put the comment down before I forgot. I work as a waiter in a restaurant that belongs to the hotel. One night a table of 4 American girls, I'm Irish, around the same age as me showed up, were really nice and kinda flirty. I thought nothing of it really is flirting, is a part of my job to a certain extent. They asked me good places, to go out in the city I live, so I gave them an extensive list and we chatted for like 15 minutes about the town and what goes on. They left soon after, and I thought they were gone for good, but my best friend works breakfast shift and met them for breakfast the next morning. They mentioned me from the restaurant and how they are going out tonight in the city. My friend has bigger balls than me and asked them to go drinking with us to show them the Irish way of drinking. We had a great night. I ended up having sex with one, and my friend got one too. Went on a road trip the next day around the area, saw some castles and shit, and she stayed at my house the second night before she went back stateside. Was a memorable couple of days for sure. I just read this in the thickest Irish accent. Not a guest, but a friend was wanting it, and she came over during overnight shift. One guest was quite a bit too flirty with me in front of her husband, and the husband just kinda smiled and went along with it. Opportunities certainly show up every now and then. I currently work at a resort. Got a BJ from my favorite housekeeper in a vacant room about 3 weeks ago. Now we are having casual sex at my apartment. The people on Grindr are willing. Find people close by, ask if they are in the hotel, compare availability and go for it. I sometimes wish I were attracted to men. Everything seems so much simpler. My impression is that hookups are easier but not commitment. I could be wrong, I just spend too much time on Reddit. Yeah, at the time was banquet captain, responsible for setting up meeting rooms and helping folks make their events successful. This meeting planner, probably 45, smoking hot, tight and classy, but just revealing enough business attire. I'm 26 to 27 at the time. Holy shit. 30 years ago, she all, can you come back to my room? I need help with my bags. Of course, ma'am. Him following her down the hall, past the front desk where watching me as the front desk manager. Her and I had been carrying on about a year. Sometimes I look back and think what an asshole was I, but I'm enjoying following this lady. Her jacket, pretty tightly cinched, doesn't cover her ass, accentuating the curve out to her skirt, just long enough to be classy, just short enough for a hint of sluttishness. We get to her room and she says she has something for the meeting in her bag on the bed, so I open it, and it's all lingerie and toys. She wants to know what she should wear later, so I pick out a couple pieces. She takes them to the bathroom as moments later as before me dressed in them. Damn. That was a 3-day conference. I was working late quite a bit that weekend. The front desk girl caught on, and I was in trouble with her. My wife did not, though my behavior did catch up to an eventual divorce. I'm glad all that behind me, as much fun as it was. My second wife and I celebrate 16 years this month, and I'd rather be with her than have crazy escapades. I'd rather be with her than have crazy escapades. You have lived a full life already, my friend. I hope you are enjoying what life is offering now. She was behind him as he typed. Worked in a hotel for years. Mostly second and third shifts. Have done it a few times. No repercussions. Everything worked out fine. I've been straight up plastered for several shifts and even swapped a shift at a hotel I didn't even work for. Paid myself and the alcohol. Nobody seemed to even notice, not even the evening or morning shift. I worked 2300-20700 at a hotel for about a year in my late teens. Never had sex with a guest, but I was dating the GM's daughter at the time, who also worked there, and we got a little frisky in the back a few times. Oh man. In the butt. Nice. The back of the hotel, or yes. Not me, but I was staying at a hotel and the receptionist was being really flirty with the customer, who just so happened to have the room next to me. Later I was going to the vending machine and I saw her, the receptionist, knock on his door, and when I came back from the vending machine there was a do not disturb thing on the door and I just grinned and went in my room. The next day, when we were leaving, I saw both of them and told them good job and thanks for not keeping us up like I thought they would. Both of them damn near died when I said that, because at the time I was a kid just starting puberty. I had a very aggressive and talkative trans woman come in after 9 PM. I can't remember her face that well, but I remember she looked kind of like a Lady Mick Jagger, which isn't really my type. She was 20 years older than me, 45-ish, and repeatedly told me her surgically completed vagina is as wet as any pussy you've ever touched. She told me I could feel it right now if I went back to her room. I didn't go back to her room. I like to think I'm open to all kinds of new experiences. If I could go back, I think would touch it. Those opportunities don't come every day. She looked kind of like a Lady Mick Jagger. I'm out. This hard no.